Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Lieutenant Commander Galpohkpa Chesson talk show. Today is December the 10th. Another day as we proceed into this post Senatorial By-Election Period in the West African Republic of Liberia. Let me put up my topics so we can see what we're getting into today. I'm very troubled with the news coming out of Liberia. So my topics for today are number one, post December 8, 2020 Senatorial By-Election in Liberia. Number two, who owns Papa's land? Number three, patriotism is the foundation of nationhood and nation building. This is a very significant concern for Liberian people who love Liberia. This is a very meaningful lesson for our young children in Liberia today, and even some of the elders, because our country is in trouble. Our country is in dire trouble. Now let's get into my lesson. Post December 8, 2020 Senatorial By-Election in Liberia. Our country right now is in a state of serious confusion. All of this confusion stems primarily from our infancy periods, still in our system of democracy, in our abilities to understand why it is important that those that lead us set the examples for our society. And our country is in a total state of confusion right now. People crying right now. Why? Because we're still infants in our stages of democratic development and progress and advancement. And because of these things, our people and country are threatened. We are threatened with the prospect of hampering our own developmental existence, progress, and advancement. But I think every democracy been through this, and this is not new and strange to Liberian people. We have been on this trend for almost 200 years. Why? Because we are still suffering from the masses of people being uneducated, being unenlightened, being ignorant to the development and progress and advancement of the world, not only Liberia. And until our people understand that their survival, our survival, rests on our abilities to know, understand, and be able to apply our constitutional mandates and articles and provisions into real life situations in our country. We still face these events and instances of infancy, a semblance of immaturity in our political endeavors. And we can't go on like this. Our sovereignty will continually be diminished, be controlled by others, and our children's lives will always be compared to other people's, but not being fully achieved or satisfied as they should be. We've been on this trend for nearly 200 years. We've been on this trend for 200 years. Now look at what's happening in our senatorial election. The law says that every polling station must put the results of their counts on the boards so that people can see it, so it can be open and fair and transparent to everybody, so everybody can know from the precincts that they voted in who won, or the tally of the various votes of the candidates. And everybody did this. All the citizens of Liberia got a copy of the various tallies from the polling stations. So, how are we hearing all these useless information that George Weah going to Bassa Buchanan in an undercover car, unofficial car, to meet with officials there from the National Election Commission to try to overturn the votes in favor of the CDC? We see all our people in Master-Sergeant County who have voted, and there are no reasons for the election process to be stalled in Master-Sergeant County in the different and in the different representatives districts or senatorial districts of the various county, the Master-Sergeant County. So the results should be out by now. It's way past 24 hours. So why isn't the result for Master-Sergeant County out yet? We can understand those other counties that people didn't show up to, or they didn't vote for certain reasons and they have to wait that they tally all the votes and they get the people to vote. We can understand that. But councillors Master-Sergeant and other counties that had no problems with the votes, the polling station, anything, those results should be out by now. So what is the problem? I heard Darius Dillon just now on Cool Online TV or something like that, warning the election commissioner, David Brown Lasana, telling her, we know, we already have the tally. He knows he won. So what's the holdup of declaring him a winner? Why is President George Weah traveling up to Buchanan when we know from the tally up there too that normally Kanga Lawrence has won? And whatever her name is, I don't know. I hope I'm not mixing it up. I hope she won. The results are out there from the tally at the polling stations in Buchanan. The people know that Kanga Lawrence has won. So what's the hold up? What's the problem? Why are these CDCians going out knowing that they have lost and declaring themselves victorious? Why? Do we want to regress into war? Do we want to regress into mass instability and death? Is that why Nathaniel McGill came out threatening the Liberian public with use of the military when there was no need to bring that into focus? We can't go through this, Liberian people. We've been through this too long. We've been through the stealing and the dictatorship and the lies and the attempt to subvert our system of democracy to some sham and failure. They must cease and desist. We can't go through this. We got to build a better society, a more capable society. Look behind me and see my fly boys. I live in a society that's advanced, and our country is not far from attaining not as much as America have, but just a little tingle to make our country great, on a path to greatness. Because when we envision all these things behind me, when we envision our country being prosperous and successful, and we are determined to pursue that path, we cannot pursue it with rogues and criminals and murderers. No, because there must be checks and balances, even on me. Even on me. Because once we establish these things for transparency, truthfulness, honesty, Liberianism, we are all responsible to ensure that they are implemented in our society. We can't remain silent and say that those people think, no, it's our thing. And when we understand it is our thing, we know how significant it is to stand up for our thing. But Liberian people, for too long, for too long, we have neglected our rights, our pride, our dignities, our loyalties, and our patriotism to people, to individuals. Now we're turning them to parties and putting parties above our country. This is not democracy. And this is the same thing that the ignoramus president of America, Donald Trump, has brought to confuse American people. Now today, even though the man has lost the election, he's going around from state to state trying to overturn the election because he has so many people and followers who are evil, divisive, racist, and can't get enough. Can't get enough. They still want to live free and ride on the backs of black people and minorities. This is insanity. And this is the insanity George Weah looking at, because George Weah ain't got no sense. Y'all never know the man's an idiot. So you see Donald Trump do it, and you think he can carry that same thing in Liberia. And this is why we want to impeach this man right now. This is why George Weah must be removed from the presidency. Not by a coup d'etat, but by the power of the Liberian people. Ellen Johnson must confront her demons now. We can't wait for her to die. She must confront the evil that she had brought upon Liberia and Liberian people. And this is why we have to stand up in this age and era of our pro-December 8, 2020 electoral process and let these criminals know enough is enough. Enough is enough. Liberia is for Liberian people. Enough for the fuckies. Enough for the churches of the clones. It's not for the zombie dancer of President George Weah and his criminal slum regime. I've been on this path for so long telling you. Y'all kept saying, oh, Chesson, you this, you're the past, you this and that. Hatred of each other will not save our country. Living on our past and pointing fingers at each other as the rogues and murderers continue to steal from us and kill our leaders in our faces and lie to us will not help us. Only the unification and integration of the Liberian Republic and society will set a pattern of change, positive change in the lives and livelihood and futures of Liberian people, youth, and babies today. So let's take a short break. Then Commander Chesson will be back with his second lesson. Well, let's get into my second lesson. Who owns Papa's land? You know something? I was just conversing with a brother on Facebook, and he wanted to know how we could change our country. And when I started telling him that we are our own faults, that we as Liberian people got to change our mentalities. We got to know that our Constitution is the foundation of change, progress, and advancement in our country. Now our late tribal people, our late tribal lineages, and our late historical oral history passed down from our parents and our tribal people, that will not change our country. No. Who owns Papa land? All of us own it. The tribal people can't beat the Congo people, and the Congo people cannot beat the tribal people. Why? Because we all need each other. We all need each other. Either on the military field together or as people in the background with money and the voice and the technology to spread the message. So it is a responsibility that rests on every one of us because all of us own Papa's land. I said papas. I didn't say papas. Papas mean all of our papa put together. That land. That's not one papa land. We got 16 tribes plus one ethnic group. We have 17 tribal groups in Liberia. And all of us own that nation. And if we keep dwelling on our past and trying to feed frustration for what people say happened to us or what we think we experience, our country ain't going nowhere. And let me tell you, like young people right now who always talk about the Congo country business, every tribal group in the Liberian Republic has a different experience with Congo people. Every tribal group in Liberia had different experiences with American Liberians. When we first came and landed on the coast of Liberia, on Africa, there were not many indigenous people living on the coast. We had to deal with those peoples first. And it was some of those people that united with us, that empower us to stop slavery and to lead the explorations and expeditions of the hinterland to bring the rest of our people into unison to form the West African Republic of Liberia. Our struggle has not been an easy struggle. You can't deal with your own tribal people. The 16 tribes in Liberia been having problems with each other in the leadership of our country since 1980. When you kill Toba to this very day, there is not one tribal leader that has succeeded in leading Liberia and Liberian people peacefully, soundly, and without stealing massively and killing our people with impunity. Not one native leader has done that. And we still end up with the Congo people. The evil Congo people, not the good Congo people. The people that feed their own Liberia. Not like the rest of us. All of us not like Ellen Johnson, Sally family there. Some of us struggle with the indigenous people. You can't compare me with other people that the way I'm speaking right now. How many American Liberians can sit here where I'm sitting now and talk to my people like this? Because I've been a part of every sector of Liberia. That why, let me tell you, you really young native children. When you come to talk to Chesson and you come with hit, and I'm teaching unification and integration and love and peace, and you come to me with what happened to you when you are living in Vondima or Kolahun or some hinterland place and never travel over Liberia, don't have any concept of the other tribal groups and areas not associated with your tribal area. Then you want to sit here and talk with Chesson, who knows Liberia, every tribe in Liberia. I've traveled to most places in my country. I'm not sitting here saying Angola or Pele. I own Liberia. I will travel through Liberia like it's my country. I would deal with the bastard, the crew, the mana, the Gisi, the Don, whatever y'all want to be. Like Liberian people. And I would deal with y'all on the principles of democracy, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly. And my young children will learn the right principles for our survival, our unification and integration as a people, and our progress and advancement as a nation. So you idiots who won't be confronting Chesson and come here and pretend like y'all want to learn, then when the time for you to learn, you want to bring your past hatreds, your past grievances into this era when your native people have proven time and again that with other Congo people, you can't lead our nation. You're nothing but petty rogues, idiots, and murderers of your own people. Now come and tell me I'm wrong. That's what make this Papa's land. All our Papa land. And we ain't giving it up. And you young children better learn. The reason why they don't want y'all to vote on a referendum is not because of any of your stupid, useless thinking. It's because it's unlawful. Our law tell us when referendum should be held 1 year after the law is passed, when it should be publicized 1 year before the voting. This has not been done, and you, the young, stupid, idiot children, coming here and bringing all kind of reasons because Benana didn't want the land, and all the indigenous people stole the land from people in Master-Sergeant County. How many indigenous people had land in Master-Sergeant County? Look at Master-Sergeant County now. It's like a little rat trap. 35% of the entire population of Liberia, 40% in Monrovia and Master-Sergeant County alone. You think you own any land there? You didn't own no land. So I see all the young children coming talking about, Cummings and Benanad and don't want a referendum because they took people land. They want Native people to come back. Native people own land in Master-Sergeant County? Few. 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 So you don't come here and start this thing. Most of the Bassa people, the Congo people, and one or two their tribes own land in Master-Sergeant County. The rest of you, they own land. All of y'all coming from the southeast and the north and the west and all these places, coming to Monrovia now claiming land that y'all own land in Liberia. Y'all never own land in Master-Sergeant County. So you can take out Master-Sergeant County. We going up country to take your lands that you don't want up there. You idiots. You better wake up. Your young children, if you live in stupidity and stupidness and follow oral history, we are reading books and listening to your idiot family members and tribal people talking stupidness to you, we are reading books. You will live in stupidity, degradation, insanity all your lives. Because this is what happening in Liberia now. You're insane. Everybody dancing around say they won the election. That's insanity. And you're headed for war. So the time of the Liberian people is now. If you young children don't wake up and face the realities of your lives, you will remain in the trenches, in the dirt, in the slum all your lives. The new generation of Liberian children cannot and must not be as dumb and ignorant as your parents. You have a challenge to rise above mediocrity, to rise above ignorance, to rise above personal mental slavery. You're enslaving yourselves with all this useless, stupid thinking. Instead of going to school and finding out the truth about life, you won't listen to stupidity coming you down and you're talking like, oh, they person they say they did, they say. So they say people. And for peace sake, people, I'm tired with mediocre Liberian people and idiots who got the world before them, but they prefer to steal like they petty criminals and they chump dogs and monkeys. Let me take a break before I get my third topic. My heart is troubled. Now, my third topic goes hand in hand with my second topic. Who owns Papa land? In order to own Papa's land, you must be patriotic. You must know that that's Papa land. And not anybody can come and mess with Papa's land. You know that if it's Papa's land and other people mess with it, they are messing with your inheritance and with the inheritance of your children or your posterity. And that can happen to sensible, sound thinking, erudite men and women of any nation. So why would Liberian people sit and allow our people to be so divided, so hateful to each other, living on past hatreds, living on past stupidities to destroy our nation today? When you have all the technology in your sights, you have all the abilities to seek knowledge and wisdom, and you don't want to do nothing but aweyo, muya muya, aweyo, muya muya, it will not lead us to better pastures. George Weah, an uneducated, dumb, useless president of Liberia, going around trying to behave like something he's not, will not benefit us. We need educated leaders. We don't need politicians who will seek to divide and disparage our democratic process just to maintain power endlessly. No, we can't follow that path. If the Liberian people say no, we say no. If we say yes, we say yes. And you better pay attention to us. And you better pay attention to us. And these are the things I bring it to you, young children, not because you see CDCN, not because you CPP, or not because you anything else, but because you are a Liberian citizen. I'm not for CPP. I'm not for CDC. I'm not for any group. But when I see something is good for Liberia, ADD, I gotta put my hand there. Whether you for CTC, whether you for CDC. But my problem with CDC, how will we go to CDC when this party has stolen and broken Liberian society down and has taken us back to the murderous days of Samuel Kanyon Doe? How can we follow this man? How can people say if George Weah changed, why would this man change? So for him to change, we'll forget all our money. We'll forget about the deaths of the auditor. We'll forget about all our children that have been missing, have been killed. And we'll say, if George Weah changed now, we'll forgive him and work with him for 3 more years. Are you people stupid or just as dumb as George Weah? I got to ask this question because when I hear someone you're talking, oh, George Weah got to change. And he only changed now. How the man will change? Our money missing. Our children, our editors dead. Our children missing. So what he'll do? He will bring them back? Because that's the only way his crimes and sin can be forgiven. He got to be punished. That's against our laws. That's against the foundation upon which Liberia was founded. And you people better stop playing with our constitution and talking stupid, idiot things that you're in your tribal villages. Because it hurts us. Who try to teach you time and time again, and we keep hearing you say, even our educated people, our people in the news and all, even Ashford Garland, man, golly, you against the man, then you say if the man change, how the man will change when we have people dead on his watch and he cannot account, nor want to account for the deaths. Families are crying, children are with our fathers. And y'all say this, if this man change, we'll follow him. We'll give him 3 more years free. George Weah must be impeached. He must be forced to resign. We must rise and strike. Nobody more work. We got to change this man and send a clear and loud message resounding message that enough is enough. Pack your stuff and let Claire take you back to wherever you came from. You people do not deserve to be in and among Liberian people in Liberian society. Leave our money, leave our properties, pack your stuff, one bag each, and Claire, take your husband, and you'll get out of my country. Enough is enough. Attorney Commander Galpohkpa Chesson warns his Republic of Liberia and Liberian people back where we belong. Let us set the pace for progress and advancement today of our people that has never been set before. I'm tired with the corruption. I'm tired with the stealing. I never ready to work in Liberia. I never ready to work. I worked for 3 years, 3.5 years, and I left. All my years I've been training and education. I never look at myself in America as being working. I look at myself as being trained. Because the status where I belong in this country, they will never let me rise there. They're not letting black Americans rise there. Who am I to be let to be risen in such positions? So all my life in America, everything I've done here is training. I'm training to go home to my country, to change our lives. That was everything people do to me here. I just let it roll off my back. I let it roll off my back because I came here to learn from my people. I came here to train. American people don't need me. They got so many people. What would do the people trying to stop West Africans from coming here? They don't need me. My lesson is done. My people need me. But I will come home. You won't kill me on past histories. This hatred is not out of your heads, not out of your souls, not out of your spirit. You hate each other. You hate the Congo people who you're like. Your tribe alone cannot rule Liberia. And that's why you keep trying to turn Liberia into a tribal nation. It cannot be ruled by one or two tribes, even 3 or 4. There are 16 tribes. You got to resist. Come to your senses. And that is why it brings me to my third point. Patriotism is the foundation of nation building and nationhood. You can't build a nation with all people who love the country, who love the ideal of constitutional democracy, where all of us share in the system based on votes and majority opinions and selections and institutions. It gotta be majority. Because majority rules. And that was somebody said, when the people make decisions, I cannot change it whether I like it or not. I gotta implement it. Let it fail if it's not good, so they can see that it failed. But I can't follow a democratic process. Side with my people in the process we agreed upon. Then when my idea is voted against, I try to dissuade the opinions and the voices of the masses of my people to satisfy my own way, surreptitiously, secretly. It will not work. And this is what our leaders do time again. When you're in a democratic process, when the people make a decision, you don't like it, walk away. That's why I walked away from the Liberian Community Association in Rhode Island, because I kept dealing with people who just want to deal with tribal hatred, who want to deal with and greed and selfishness, and had no idea what is in the best interest of the association and Liberian people. And you see that we still can progress or advance in the diaspora today. Look at ULA. ULA is a failed institution. ULA can't do nothing for Liberian people. ULA ain't got money. ULA ain't got money. You like got tribal people, the same tribalistic thing going on in Liberia, going on in Eula and throughout America here. Our country is a country of confused people, or confused people who don't know whether they love Liberia or love their tribes. So we are stuck here. And this is why our democratic process cannot work. We have liars and tribal thieves and rogues who want to put their tribes over the Liberian people. And that's why you hit the Congo people, because we don't play those kind of tribal games. We are not part of the 16 tribal group that consistently want to lead Liberia and they can't lead us. That consistently want to control our money and it will disappear because their fingers are sticky and kleptomaniac fingers. They are rogues. They come to our government not feeling a part of the government, but feeling that it's an institution to come and steal and rob and build your family and bring your friends and brothers and cronies into the government to lead the people and the instrumentalities of our nationhood into the dirt, into the mud, into the slums. Patriotism is the foundation of nationhood and nation building. Because if you're not patriotic, if you don't love Liberia, how will you love Liberians? If your whole intention is to come and hustle from the Liberian government, all the education you got, you coming home and your only intention is to hustle. Galpoh Chersson said, how you leave America and go Liberia to hustle? No cash in Liberia. Our nation is the poorest in the world. Our government cash is looted because everybody went home to hustle on the government, not on themselves, not in the society to try to do businesses and hustle to make money that way, but to come home and serve in our government and be the very people to rob us blind and destroy our country. Patriotism is the foundation of nationhood and nation building. If we don't love our country, we can't love our people. If we can't love our people, we can't love our country. So all of y'all who say Chesson this and that, would I be teaching you idiots this? Because on the idiots thing like that, you hear the man talking. You hear the man never served in the government because our government is and was too corrupt. I still can't serve in the government now because I will get killed. Because people will go to jail and they will come kill me. Our country is a country of criminals, bandits, lawless people. Why? Because our masses of people are ignorant. Our masses of people are kids, just like George Weah, the president of Liberia, dancing zombie dance about liquor, about being massively drunk, about being drunkards. Why George Weah will not stop in the street to sleep with young girls, will sleep with our little babies and take them in the official car, the president, to make love on the side of the road. Why? The man's a drunkard. He's a drunkard. He's a sloppy, nasty drunkard. And when he gets drunk, all he wants to do is satisfy his sexual urge. And he doesn't care who he does it with. Many of us have lived under such conditions. And it's time for us to hold our leaders accountable, responsible, and take away their positions and punish them for their crime, their moral corruption of our minors, and their evil ways that cause our people, a God-fearing people and God-fearing nation, to sin against our gods. The time of the Liberian people is now. Patriotism is the foundation of nationhood and nation building. If you don't love your country and only think about stealing and hustling from the Liberian people for yourself as government officials, you have no patriotism. You have no love. You have no charity. You have no beginnings and you have no ends. You cannot serve the Liberian people. Why? Because patriotism is the foundation of nationhood and nation building. My young children, that's my lesson for today. I'm trying to impress upon you all the understanding that everything in our lives cannot rest on oral history, cannot rest on things that are passed down from families to families to families. People will interject their own feelings and lies and deception into the narrative of history. We cannot continue to dwell on things that are not documented, on things that where we don't have to go to school to learn. That's why we invest so much in schools. We invest so much in technology and other things so our nation and people can rise in their consciousness, in their minds, that in their brains. You can only get it through God and struggling to learn. Learning is not easy. Don't think you go to school skating. Even some of the people who graduate in Liberian society think they know so much when they challenge people that mean they don't know. Because I'm properly educated. And not they say educated. So when people who never gain real education but appear to be smart and erudite and they confront a real educated man or real experienced man, you better know what you're talking. Because it's not they say or yes say or don't say, nothing. It's what you know. Are you competent to challenge me? Are you erudite? Are you smart? Because I'm not dwelling on they say or what my father did or what my mother did. No, I'm dwelling on my own competence and abilities and merits to lead my people as I see fit. Not depending on nobody, but on what I know, what I've learned, what I've experienced, and what I see as failures in my society. And young people, with education, with your knowledge, with sincerity, honesty, and hard work, you will gain independence and understand how significant it is, how beautiful it is to be your own man, to say what you want to say, to think what you want to think, and live under the laws of the nation you love. Lieutenant Commander Galpoh Chersson of the West African Republic of Liberia, class is done. My young children, the struggle continues. Aluta! Let's carry on. Have a good day.